Morning guys, so Friday the 31st of July, last day of July. Tell you what, came back about 5 minutes later, but I was sort of quickly chatting to somebody. But I was just struck by 5 minutes later and well, I know it's warm as well, but it's like, wow, everyone's come out the woodworks. It's very well. It's so, busy already. I'm like, wow. You know what I was saying earlier on about, and then I came out the house and it was a couple of minutes later because I just saw somebody walking past, and somebody who I've met before. I don't know him really well, but know him, and we've had a few chats walking their dog, and we said at one point, well, after him and his partner, who we'd met in the park another time, had a really nice chat with, and me and my other half will have to meet up at some point, and they literally live, it is literally just down the road, and then you forget and life goes on. And I was going to say the word weird then. The funny thing is, that was part of my point really, what I was into. My other half had just so happened to have bumped into them the other day and spoke to them, and I think they hadn't again seen them out and about in ages. Plus, sometimes your daily patterns, your routines, your work stuff changes as well. But they were conscious that in the one. They had quite a good chat with them, and they then, sort of said to me, "Oh, Mantle spoke to so, I said to them, have to connect at some point." And then I said, to my other half, "Oh, do you know what? Yeah, it'd be nice to, sort of catch up with them. Maybe even if you've got side gates, invite them round, they can sit in the garden." And then lo and behold, this is literally in the last day or so, and then lo and behold, Willow, this way. This is the person I'm on about that walked past as I'd just got Willow in the car this morning. He said, "Oh, hello," we had a quick chat, and their sort of dog had died, I think, fairly recently. So I saw him with another dog, and I was like, "Oh, you had another dog?" He looked quite a young one. He was like, "I know, I'm just walking it for somebody else." So it's like, I don't know, it's funny. I think you can be given opportunities. Opportunities can be presented. And then we then obviously have a choice in our life about what we then do with those. The moments that are presented. But it was just sort of making me think that yesterday when I sort of did the live with Rosie and Natasha, talking about lots of different things, but at one point, and it may not have even been recorded on the live, maybe before or after the conversations, talking about, is it, do you believe in all things happen for a reason? Is it fate? Is it coincidence? Is it, do you believe in another power? Do you believe in God? So that somehow came up at some point. And I suppose by seeing that guy this morning, knowing the context of having just spoken to my other half and he'd just spoken to him, and we didn't really there was, if you like, I suppose, probably had an opportunity that was sort of presented when we first met them, but we didn't do anything with it. Yeah, and I just sort of thought, okay, it's interesting. Is it just completely random? Bearing in mind, it's like, well, I come out all those other times in the morning and never really see him. Was it random for him? Was it meant to be? Is it that there's another power sort of trying to, align and connect us to be able to, create some sort of, friendship, support, connection? No. And people have different thoughts, different ideas about what that all means. I think the key thing actually then, as I was sharing, was really about what we do with, the moments that are presented to us. Whether we do create something from it or not, do we act upon it or not, do we, say, which certainly I've done a couple of times, you have a really good conversation or chat, or you connect with somebody, may not really know them that well, and you, in that moment, you have every intention, you're like, yeah, it'd be lovely to, we'll have to do something, we'll have to connect, and sometimes I will, don't get me wrong, because I would say pretty good at doing what I say I'm going to do, and there are other times where I know that I've said that and then I haven't, and the funny thing is, I don't know about you, but I find that if you say, yeah, we'll have to do X, Y and Z, and then you don't, or you keep meaning to, and then a day and a week and a month goes by, what tends to happen then is it's almost like it doesn't feel natural, feels a little bit out of sync, it feels like, feels a bit too awkward, all sorts of things then happen to the connection, perhaps because time's gone on, that disconnect can feel a little bit bigger before you know where you are, said you haven't actually done it. Got totally distracted then, paused the recording the video, because there was a guy with his dog, and they were just telling me about the tree. I don't know if you have watched my videos. The day before, on the recording, I was showing the tree that had a massive part of the trunk just collapsed off, and I was saying, you never know, the whole concept, you never know what's going on inside, and from the outside things can look like one thing, inside it could look like another anyway. Just talking to the guy, and bizarre, I can't get my head around that now, because he said, did you see it, did you hear it? I'm like, no, apparently I reckon it must have been rotten inside, the massive part of this tree just came off, collapsed, and it was about 7 in the morning, and I'm like really thinking, well, I've only just missed it, because we'd normally be over there at that time, and they had there's normally a lot of the times two women that was a trainer with another woman. She just obviously helps her do exercise. They have a mat under the tree, they're doing and have bands and from stretching off the tree and all sorts, and apparently when this massive part of the tree came off, they were doing their exercise, so they were underneath it, and they, from what I could see, the whole side of that part of the tree, it literally fell down the other side of the tree where they were. But we're talking, within a foot, and they would have been absolutely, would have shocked them out of the skin, because he was saying that he obviously spoke to the two women, and he was saying that they were absolutely petrified out the skin, and it made a massive bang, and so I'm like, oh. You're probably thinking, why am I showing this? I just find it fascinating that same time as what I'd normally be around, and I'm thinking, well, I must have just missed it. I feel a little bit disappointed now. I mean, obviously I don't want the tree to break and come down, but the fact that I missed it when I normally would be around to see something like that. That's just me being, curious. I feel like I've missed out on some event. But we will. Very, very warm. And just you can tell that in a sense it's going to get really, really hot. Should you go across the stream, Will? So wet your paws a little. Come on, keep going. Good girl. Well, I think I'm gonna love you and leave you guys. Have the rest of a fruity Friday. I'm sure it's going to be hot. So do what you can to stay cool, and I shall speak to you later, guys. Take care, bye.